Hello. Today we are going to get information about Prince whose personality was extraordinary, indomitable courage, unmatchable prowess, unmatched bravery, culmination of efforts, mastery of several languages, master in Sanskrit, whose enjoy undisputed supremacy in many fields like social cause, politics, economy, religion. Today we are going to get information about Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. Abbé Carré was a French traveler who came to Swaraj while traveling in India around 1672. He described Shambhuraje as something like that. This prince is young but courageous and brave enough to match his father's fame. He has been trained in art of war by living with a warrior father like Shivaji Raje, and he is ready to match even a good experienced general. He is strong built and extremely handsome. He has great charm. The soldiers love him and respect him as much as Shivaji Raje. The difference is that the soldiers feel privileged to fight under the Sambhaji Raje. Sambhaji Raje was born on 14 May 1657 at Fort Purandar. Being the son of great man like Shivaji Maharaj, he was exposed to battlefield campaign and political tactics from his childhood. Sambhaji Raje's mother Saibai died when the Sambhaji Raje was very young. After that, a woman named Dharau of Kapurhol village near Pune became his foster mother. His grandmother Jizabai took care of him. According to many historical records, Sambhaji Raje was extremely handsome and brave. He fully absorbed the new sense of politics. Shivaji Maharaj took him with himself during his visit to Agra, thinking that if he got to know the affairs and politics of the Mughal court at an early age, it would be useful to him in the future. Sambhaji Raje was 9 years old at that time. After the escape of Shivaji Maharaj from the captivity of Agra, the rush to Swarajya could not have been tolerated by Sambhaji Raje, and therefore it was necessary to keep him in a safe place for some time. So Shivaji Maharaj kept him in Mathura at Moropant Peshwa's brother-in-law's house. Shivaji Maharaj spread rumor of Sambhaji Raje's death in order to stop the pursuit of Sambhaji Raje by the Mughal soldiers. Sometime after Shivaji Raje reached Swaraj, and then Sambhaji Raje arrived safely in Swaraj. A lawyer came to attend the coronation ceremony of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. His name was Henry Oxyton, and this Henry Oxyton wrote a diary in which he writes that I came to Raigad. I saw coronation ceremony of Shivaji Maharaj, and during this ceremony my meeting is happened with the son of Shivaji Maharaj, that is Sambhaji Raje. That I noticed at that time. This Prince Sambhaji speak in Marathi to the Rayat here. He speak in Hindi to the people who came from north. He speaks us Britishers in English. He speak to the Portuguese in Portuguese. How many languages that Shivaji Raja should teach his son? Because of this writing of English people, we know that Sambhaji Raje knows 16 languages. On January 16, 1681, Sambhaji Raje was crowned. He generously forgave Annaji Datto and Moropant Peshwa and reinstated them in the Ashtapradhan Mandal. But after some time, Annaji Datto and Soirabai again planned against Sambhaji Raje to imprison him and arrange the coronation of Rajaram. Then Sambhaji Raje killed Annaji Datto and his colleagues by giving them under the foot of an elephant. Aurangzeb attacked Swarajya in 1682. Aurangzeb's power was superior to that of Sambhaji Raje in all aspects. His army was 5 times larger than that of the Swarajya, while his kingdom was at least 15 times larger than the Swarajya. Aurangzeb's army was one of the most powerful armies in the world. Still, under the leadership of Sambhaji Raje, the Marathas fought bravely. A prominent example of the strong will and fighting spirit of the Marathas is the Battle of Ramshes Fort near Nashik. Aurangzeb's general expected that the fort to surrender within few hours, but the Marathas resisted so fiercely that they had to fight for 6.5 years to conquer that fort. Sambhaji Raje taught his enemies, the Portuguese of Goa, Siddhi of Janjira and Chikkadevrai of Mysore, such a strong lesson that they did not dare to help Aurangzeb against the Sambhaji Raje. Sambhaji Raje invaded Goa and subdued the fanatical Portuguese. He made a pact with them and bound them. It is impossible to forget that Sambhaji Raje put a full stop to Portuguese expansion in Goa, thus saving the Hindus of the region of Goa. The Portuguese was very afraid of Sambhaji Raje. They mention in their letter to Britishers, "It is our experience that Sambhaji Maharaj is most powerful in the present situation." The supernatural work done by Sambhaji Raje in his short life had a far-reaching effect on the whole India. So every Hindu brother should be grateful to him. He faced Aurangzeb's army of 8 lakh unflinchingly and routed several Mughal chieftains by defeating them in battle. So Aurangzeb continued to fight in Maharashtra for a long time, and the whole of North India remained free from his oppression. This is Sambhaji Raje's greatest achievement. If Sambhaji Raje made a treaty with Aurangzeb, accepted his superiority, he would have gone back to north in 2 or 3 years. But due to the struggle of Sambhaji Raje, Aurangzeb was trapped in Deccan for 27 years, and due to this, the Hindu community got security with the rise of new power of Hindus in Bundelkhand, Punjab, Rajasthan in the North India. Who dominates the sea can maintain the freedom of the India intact was the thought of Shivaji Maharaj. And following these thoughts, Sambhaji Maharaj set up armory centers at 4 new places, namely Mahad, Jaitapur, Kalyan and Rajapur. The work of shipbuilding started. The first floating artillery was built by the Sambhaji Raje. Under the leadership of Sambhaji Raje, the Maratha fought all the enemies single-handedly. In 1687 to 1688, there was a severe drought in Maharashtra. This made the situation difficult. In that, many traitors were always ready to stab Sambhaji Maharaj in back. Unfortunately for Sambhaji Raje, his brother-in-law Ganoji Shirke joined the enemy for possession of some villages. In early 1689, Sambhaji Raje called his important chieftains to Sangameshwar in Konkan for a meeting. As Sambhaji Raje was leaving for Raigad after that meeting, his brother-in-law Ganoji Shirke and Aurangzeb's chieftain Mukarrab Khan attacked Sangameshwar. Ganoji Shirke maintained utmost secrecy of this operation and planned all operation very carefully. A skirmish took place between the Marathas and the enemy army. The strength of Marathas was reduced. Despite their efforts, the Marathas could not repulse the enemy's attack. The enemy captured Sambhaji Raje alive. People do not know the history of Sambhaji Raje's sacrifice. On February 1st, 1689, Sambhaji Raje was caught while listening to the complaints of some citizens at Sangameshwar due to the treachery of his real brother-in-law Ganoji Shirke. No power in the world today has the strength to defeat us. There are many examples that our defeat was due to the traitorous people among us. Even the present time is no exception. The same thing happened during the time of Shambhuraje, Yesubai's elder brother Ganoji Shirke. Shambhuraje's brother-in-law became unfaithful to Hindu Swarajya. As the Raje received a news of Zulfikar Khan was marching on Raigad, the Shambhuraje was about to return to Raigad via Satara, Mahad. But as Mukarrab Khan reached Kolhapur, Sambhaji Raje decided to go to Raigad via Chipdun, Khed via Sangameshwar. The news that Shambhuraje himself had came to Sangameshwar spread like wind in the surrounding area. The congregation, devastated by the rebellion of Shirke, started coming to Sambhaji Raje with their grievances. He took time to understand the grievances of the Rayat and resolve them, and had to stay at Sangameshwar for 4 to 5 days. There the Sambhaji Raje came to know that Mukarrab Khan was coming from Kolhapur. The distance from Kolhapur to Sangameshwar is 90 miles, and that too a difficult route covered by the valley of Sahyadri. So at least 8 to 10 days apart. But the exhausted Ganoji Shirke brought Mukarrab Khan to Sangameshwar in just 4 to 5 days by a nearby route. So on February 1st, 1689, Mukarrab Khan, with the help of his 3,000 army, captured Shambhuraje in the siege. When the Sambhaji Raje noticed that the palace of Sardesai in Sangameshwar, where Sambhaji Raje was staying, was besieged by the Khan, they were surprised, for it was not possible for the Khan to come in so short time. But they also noticed that this alchemy was possible only because of treachery. Shambhuraje had already sent his army to Raigad and kept only 400 to 500 troops with him. At this time, Krishnaji Chimulav and Arzoji Yadav came to Shambhuraje with their grievances. Now the only option left to Raje was to break the siege of Khan and proceed to Raigad. So the Raje ordered his soldier to attack the army. Even in this situation, Sambhaji Raje, Santaji Ghorpade and Khandoballa rushed towards Raigad without hesitating to break the siege of the enemy. Unfortunately, Maloji Ghorpade was killed in this skirmish. But Shambhuraje and Kavi Kalash got stuck in the siege. Sambhaji Raje had taken his horse out of the siege, but when the right arm of Kavi Kalash, who was behind, was hit by an arrow of Mukarrab Khan and he fell down, the Sambhaji Raje again turned back to save him and found himself surrounded. At this time, many soldiers were killed and their horses were galloping everywhere. No one could see clearly. Taking advantage of this situation, Shambhuraje again entered in the palace of Sardesai, but his horse was there. As the sat down, Ganoji Shirke recognized Shambhuraje's horse. In the feet of Shambhuraje's horse used to have a piece of gold, and this was known to the Shirke. So he instructed the Khan's army to explore Sambhaji Maharaj nearby. Finally, Mukarrab Khan's army captured Shambhuraje. Due to treachery, the lion's cub finally fell into the hands of enemy. Even after chasing huge struggle, who could not be found in the hands of the 7 lakh army for 9 years, the mighty warrior who never allowed the Aurangzeb to enjoy stability got caught in the Mughals' net due to the dishonesty of the own people. On March 11, 1689, Shambhuraje was beheaded and murdered at Tulapur on the confluence of Bhima and Indrayani rivers. Due to this sacrifice of Sambhaji Raje, the entire Maharashtra was set on fire, and the decisive struggle of Marathas with the Mughal Aurangzeb began. Spears burst into the grasses and houses became fortresses. The mothers and sisters of the houses started asking their husbands to take revenge for the Sambhaji Raje's murder. That is the meaningful description of that time. Sambhaji Maharaj's sacrifice reawaked the self-esteem of Marathas, which became a very important aspect of the national life 300 years ago. This changed history. The support of people increased the Maratha army and the number of troops reached to the 2 lakh. Violent opposition to Mughal arose from place to place, and finally Aurangzeb's death after 27 years of fruitless warfare in Maharashtra itself led to the rise of the mighty Maratha Empire, which saw the decline of Mughal power. In the 27-year struggle of Marathas against Aurangzeb's brutal invasion, there were many war leaders like Hambir Rao, Santaji, Dhanaji, but this struggle took a turn due to the awareness brought by the sacrifice of Sambhaji Raje. For 9 years after the untimely death of Sri Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, Sambhaji Raje protected and preserved the Swarajya from Aurangzeb. The king, who were caught in the enemy's clutches by treachery, accepted death, but Swarajya Dharma and self-respect did not give up. His sacrifice burned the Marathas and dove the Mughals. This is a vivid history of the victory of Maratha and Swarajya. Today, on the occasion of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Raje's birth anniversary, I am trying to spread awareness and information about Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj in the society to change the viewpoint of society towards our own king. Thank you.